Okay, so I finally finished my album, Going to Chile, and I know I said in a video before for some of the process videos for these layouts that I was using the Amy Tangerine's Ready, Set, Go collection, and I was doing doodling. Those were the two main things that I wanted to have throughout this layout so they would be consistent. So literally I just put, right before I'm shooting this video, I made this title page. And I just threw pretty much just leftover stuff that I had from the collections and scrap pieces that I had. And since this is a travel album, I thought it was fitting that I was using this matte paper. So I just put the title, Chile 2012, and I put the date down here of when I went. And when we got there, we went and ate at a restaurant after we rested from our overnight flight. And again, this one has more of the Ready, Set, Go collection in the, if you can notice the doodling, and then I did some painting in the background behind little circles. And what all I did was I had the, I used the lid from the paint and just painted around, I just kind of painted around the edge here and just stamped it down. Okay, so this was a view of our hotel from in this place, the Ready, Set, Go collection here. And then here is this hill that was right next door, and that's where I took those pictures from our hotel room with. And I really did not care for how this layout turned out. It's not one of my favorites, but I didn't feel like redoing it. So, and I had some of my family had seen this, and so they gave me compliments on it, so I guess that's made me keep it. And I got the idea, I think I saw a layout like this somewhere, probably on Pinterest, and I scrap lifted. I couldn't tell you where on Pinterest. Maybe I'll, if I find it on my pins, I'll add it in the video. I'll have to look through my pins. And some of this stuff actually came from one of the Studio Calico kits. I had pieces left over. I think these little sequins came from there. And this might have been another scrap lift too, if I'm thinking back correctly. And again, here's more doodling. I really liked how the doodling turned out on this one because I was very scratchy with it and me purposely being messy. So, and I had bought this die cut, and I had got this die cut, and I just had used the little one right here in the middle, and then use some of these little circles to give it little holes. All right. Now this one, I did this one later on, and so it doesn't have as much papers from the Ready, Set, Go collection, but I tried to, if I didn't have a lot of the papers, I tried to incorporate the stickers or the embellishments and stuff. So this one, she had a sticker, on the sticker collection, and had favorite, and so that kind of placed it for my title. Favorite Resto Bar, that's what they call them there in Santiago. And then this was on one of our tours when we went to the coast. And I really didn't have a title for this one. So I kind of am just saying that this on the go is on my title. And I just kind of started the journaling down here. I could not think of a title. And I was like, forget it. I'm just not going to have a title, or I'll just use that on the go as the title. So, and pictures of me and my brother when we were there. And then along the tour, we were walking down these hills, and in Chile, graffiti is very popular, but they're in, guess where were we at? I can't say it right, Valparaiso, something like that. They had lots of beautiful murals on their walls, so I had to add that to my layout. And I think I scrap lifted this too from somewhere. I mean, I try to pin when I find layouts that I want to scrap lift, so I'll put a tag or link to my pins. Okay, and then here's us walking down the hill. And here this part here, what did I do? Oh, I watered down some acrylic paint, and then I sprayed it over with some Tattered Angels, I think it's marshmallow or diamond, something glimmer, just to give it a little bit of glimmer. And I really didn't have journaling. If I did have journaling, I probably would put here. anyways, so that's this hill that we were walking down and stuff, and this was kind of one of those pages that was towards the end because it doesn't have much Amy Tangerine. So yeah, this idea came from Drew Scott from Scrap Happiness, his blog. I think I saw he had done a layout that had this effect. I don't know if it may have been on the same paper too, and so that brought off my idea. Some of these I had to scrap lift a lot, quite a bit from people and ideas, just because my mojo was not going, but I really wanted to get this layout done. So, you know, that's kind of what I have to do sometimes when I can't be creative. So here's another layout, and this one has a lot of scraps from the collection. And this one, because dogs, I don't know what it is, but they have large stray dogs everywhere that you remember from your trips. So in this one, since it was dark, I used my white gel pen and did all the outlining in the white gel. And here's the next layout, and that's just we're on a walking tour again, and the we're on coming down on the hilltops. And so this one I really liked how it turned out. I was kind of a little iffy, didn't know if the colors would work and stuff, and didn't know how I was going to use this paper, because I ordered that collection and I was really excited about it, but then when I got it and got to see the papers, you know, not computerized, some of the colors just weren't working for me, so I had a hard time working with the collection because there were some colors I just did not care for, but I wanted to use it because I paid all that money for it. So anyways, so then there's another layout, and some of the stuff you can notice will probably be from some Studio Calico kits, because I try to use some of that stuff too as it comes along. Okay, so here's some more pictures, and here I painted with my acrylic black paint just to kind of give a border outline, since I didn't have much, I think I didn't have much scraps left of the paper here. So, and there's not really many embellishment pieces like stickers and stuff. What's from that collection, from the Ready Set Go collection, is the stamps here that I put on the what are these things, hexagons. Yeah. So next, now this one's one of my favorite layouts. I'm pretty sure I scrap lifted this. So I scrap lifted this from, I'm pretty sure, from the Creative Scrappers, this idea. And this was when I was in my little stitching phase in layout, so I did the stitching. As you can see, I did some of that circling too with the paints, and I just found different things in my stuff that has different size circles, so I might use like the lids from the Mr. Huey's containers and dip them. And now this one, I wasn't sure when I started doing it how I would like it, how it turned out, but it's actually one of my favorite ones that I love, and my favorite part is the title down here. I loved how the doodling of it came out, around it came out. So this one's another one that I don't have much papers from the collection, but I have the embellishments and stuff, Amy Tangerine embellishments. So, and the doodling too. Okay. And then I think this one is very simple. It was I was getting burned out from working on this layout, and I was wanting to be done with it, but I wanted to make sure I finished it. So that's why some of them are simpler than others, but I'm fine with it actually. I liked how it turned out. The pictures have a lot going in on them, especially this top one's kind of busy, and I just wanted to, I like that simple. Alright, we're in this park that has trees from all around the world and stuff. So I was looking through my stuff, and I remembered I had these old Prima leaves that I've had for a very long time, and I knew I didn't have just a few left, so I glimmered them with like, I think it was like a copper, or it's bronze, and to get rid of that stuff, you know, using up that stuff that's been sitting there for probably about a year. Okay, now this one is my absolute favorite. I scrap lifted the idea from Creative Scrappers, but what I love about this layout is my stitching here of these asterisks. And what I did, let me see if I can find a little piece. What I did is I drew it. I made a big asterisk. If you can see it, made a big asterisk. Just did that, and then I kind of did a block around it, and then I cut it out, and then however I did it, I drew it on with my pencil onto the paper, and then I stitched over my lines. And so then I had to kind of go back a little bit and get the stitching inside. And then I did the same thing for these orange ones, but they're on the backs. I just drew them on the back side. So like I said, this is one of my favorite ones. I love this layout. I loved how it turned out. I think in this corner in the paper, it had some, you can kind of see right there, it had some things drawn on it, and I really didn't like them. So I put a lot of washi tape to cover it up. And so then I added that down there at the bottom too. So yes, this is like my favorite page of the whole entire album. Okay. I think there was a process video for this one, so I won't go much over it. Again, it's simple. Alright, I can't remember if there's a scrapbook process for this one or not, but what I love from this one is these things. And I think I got the idea to do these arrows from a Glitter Girl video. So anyways, I think I scrapbooked this idea here from somewhere. I'm not sure where. I couldn't tell you. I love this chevron paper. It's from the This and That collection. So, and this yellow paper is from that too. So, and then here is another. I believe there's a process video for this one too. Yeah. And then of course there's a process video for this one that everyone's seen. I've scrapbooked it and I talked about that one in there. And this is another one of my favorite layouts too, because honestly I didn't know how, when I was doing it, I didn't know how it turned out, but I love it. Okay, now this one, I had this, my brother had taken this panoramic picture with his phone, so I wanted to get it to stretch across. I had misted with, what was it, the black Mr. Huey's, yeah, inky black Mr. Huey's, and at first I really didn't, I don't know, I guess I over misted, or it just was not coming out because I was getting kind of crazy down here and I was a little worried how it would be turning out, but actually I like it. I think because I covered it up mostly with a lot of these embellishments here, that it actually works for me, so it doesn't look as bad as I thought it would be as I was doing it. Here. And then here's another layout. This one was pretty simple too. And there's not much embellishments. I just cut papers in the strips to make them little banners. Done misted these arrows, added my journaling, and of course, and again, the doodling. So now here's another simple one. Again, it was towards the end. I was tired. I was done with the album, so it's more simple. I'm looking at it now. There's not much stuff popping off, 3D kind of feel to it, but that's okay. That's why I added the thickers. If it's very flat, I always try to make sure that my title has some dimension to it. So again, like, it's very simple and stuff. I think I was laying in bed one night, and of course, what do you do while you're trying to go to sleep? You're thinking about scrapbooking. So I came up with the idea of doing these grids here and wrapping it around. I knew I had these brads left over from a Studio Calico kit, and I wanted to get rid of them, and so I decided that I was going to make a little grid with it because I could print out my photos, because there was a lot of photos from when we went to the zoo, and I didn't want to have 20 pages of photos, and I wanted to get a lot of them, so I just wanted to put them all in one layout. So I kind of went in through and saw which ones are the photos I like the best, and so I came up with the grid. I think I did, what did I do? I just measured with my ruler and put little dots where I wanted to poke the holes. I didn't have enough stamps, so that's why I had to think about how to hide the ends here, because there's no brad here and there's no brad underneath this. So yeah, I liked how it turned out, because you know how sometimes you think about things and you think they look good, and then when it doesn't work out. But anyways, and so then we had these feathers left over from Studio Calico kit, and I was like, well, feathers have got to work. You're at the zoo. Anyways, so there's that layout from the skyline when we were at the zoo. He had a pretty view of Santiago. So again, I was trying to use up pieces from the collection. And then Here, I've scrapped this one. What is this? This is some drink that my cousin said we had to try because he was down there in Santiago too. So, and I found this little bicycle. There is a process video for this now that I'm talking about it. So anyways, there's this little bicycle because it worked with what's going on in the story. Okay. And this is the last page in the album I used. And there is a process video for this too, I believe. Now I'm thinking about it. Anyways, the hearts are the Tim Holtz die movers and shakers. I used some vellum back here. Kind of see, did the outlining. Used some trims that I had got from my grandmother's scraps from her stuff. And I think that's all I say. So that is my album. I will have a slideshow of them at the very end. So thanks for watching. Bye.